Greetings to all. Hope you are all fine and taking care. After 15-20 days, again we are starting with, we are little behind, and again we are starting with videos and classes. So first onwards you will be having class. Before that I want to complete the first chapter. So very simple chapter. If you try, it is easy only. Go. Now today I am going to discuss number systems. Second, we will be discussing important properties of rational numbers. So after seeing the video, what you have to do is you have to try exercise 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. Then I will send I will make a video discussing these exercises. Then you can clear your doubts. So number systems. See, already we have learned these number systems. To save time, I wrote them on the board. See, first set of numbers, natural numbers, and 1, 2, 3, etc. And they are called natural numbers because they occurred naturally. Means in those days, many years back, there were a barter system and all. Barter system means people exchange things. There were no shops and all. So they needed to represent some symbols for quantity. Say how many I am giving or how many I am taking, how much I am giving, etc. For that they made some symbols. These were not the symbols. After many years only these symbols were formed. In Hindi we used some other symbol, and different symbols were used. So this number system 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. they are called natural numbers. And in the beginning natural numbers were till 9 only. That because 0 was not there. So later 0 was introduced because of two reasons. One is there is no answer to questions like 3 minus 3, 4 minus 4, etc. And second reason is we wanted to extend numbers beyond 9 because 10, 11, 12, etc. 11 is 10 plus 1. So that concept, for that we needed 0. But clearly if you are asked whether 10 is a natural number or not, yes, it is a natural number. Numbers starting with 1, 2, 3, etc. Numbers going with 1, 2, etc. that is considered as natural numbers. Numbers starting with 0 are called whole numbers. Then then later we introduced fractions because of, say, division of numbers. There were no answer, like 10 divided by 3 or 5 divided by 2. There is no answer. So we introduced fractions. Example 1 upon 2, 2 upon 3, 3 upon 4, etc. Then each fraction can be changed into decimal. So for example 1 upon 2 is 0.5, 2 upon 3 is 0.666, etc. Then 3 upon 4 is 0.75. Like that every fraction can be changed into decimal. So decimal number system was formed. Then comes integers. Basically there are three reasons for introduction of integers. One is there is no answer to questions like 4 minus 5 or 3 minus 6, etc. There were no answers. See, you may wonder whether such operations exist or we need such operations. Yes, we need. For example, the temperature at a place is 3 degrees Celsius and the temperature decreased by 5 degrees Celsius. What is the final temperature? So 3 degree in the beginning, temperature decreased by 5, so minus 3 minus 5 is equal to what? So we need to do such operations also. In many other cases we need. This is just an example. So there were no answer to questions like 3 minus 5, 2 minus 2 minus 10, etc. There were no answer. Second reason is when we represent whole numbers on the number line, on the left side of 0 is blank. See, when we represent whole numbers on the number line, see, 1, 2, 3, etc. Left side was blank. So mathematicians felt that there are more numbers, so they introduced integers. Now third reason is, I'll tell you, first reason is we need to answer these type of questions, 3 minus 5 etc. Second reason, on the number line. What is a number line? The best geometrical figure to represent numbers is a line only, because a line is extending infinitely and numbers are also extending infinitely. So on the number line, left side of 0 is blank, so mathematicians felt that numbers are incomplete. Then third reason, we need numbers smaller than 0 also in many cases. For example, in the case of temperature at a place can be below 0 degree, but there is no number to represent till this decimals, fractions, whole numbers and all. There is no representation of temperature below 0 degree. So we introduced integers. So for every positive integer we introduced a negative integer, for 1 minus 1, for 2 minus 2, for 3 minus 3 etc., and made a new number system that is known as integers. Then in 6th you have learned how to do operations on integers and all. Again in 7th standard you have learned rational numbers. Again two reasons. One is, why do we need rational numbers? Division of negative numbers is not defined. So for example, I am dividing 4 by minus 3, there is no answer. Or 5 divided by minus 2, there is no answer. See, 4 divided by minus 2, there is, let it be, this division is possible. Say 4 divided by minus 3, there is no answer. Or minus 6 divided by 5, there is no answer. So for these, in these number systems there is no answer to these questions. And second reason is, see, minus 1, minus 2 etc. This is a representation of integers. Now between 0 and 1, see, each point on a line represent a number. So between 0 and 1 there are infinite points and infinite numbers. Especially the numbers which are lying between 0 and 1 given a special name, they are called proper fractions. Now between 1 and 2, 1, 1 upon 2, 1, 1 upon 3 etc. infinite numbers are there. But between 0 and minus 1 there are no numbers in any of these number system other than. So because of these reasons we felt that integers are incomplete and we introduced rational numbers. So two reasons. One is the operations like 4 divided by minus 3, minus 6 divided by 5 etc. there is no answer. Second one, between 0 and 1 there are infinite numbers. Between 0 and minus 1 infinite points are there but no numbers. So this number system is incomplete, so we introduce rational numbers. Now this is the definition of rational numbers which you have learned number of times. A number of the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. So three conditions. If all these numbers till integers we have learned are rational numbers or can be expressed as rational numbers. If they are not, so for example 0.5, it is not a rational number but we can write it as 5 upon 10, then it will become a rational number. Say minus 3, it is not a rational number but we can write it as minus 3 upon 1, then it will become a rational number. So all these numbers are rational numbers. So three conditions you have to check whether the given number is a rational number or not. First one, it should have numerator and denominator. Second one, both numerator and denominator should be integers and denominator should not be equal to 0. So these three conditions are satisfied, then you can say that the given number is a rational number. I'll tell you once again. It should have numerator and denominator. Both numerator and denominator should be integers and denominator should not be equal to 0. Now why especially denominator not equal to 0? Because division by 0 is not defined. Say 0 upon 4 or 4 upon 0. Now 0 upon 4 is 0 only, because question is how many 4s are there in 0. We know that 0 4s are there because there is no 4. 0 means nothing. So 0 upon 4 is 0. But 4 upon 0, how many zeros are there in 4? No answer. That is why especially when we say the definition of rational numbers, we say a number of the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. Now in 8th standard You have learned squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots. What was the purpose of learning this one? One is make calculation easy. Second one is to introduce irrational numbers only. Now see, there are three types of decimals. When we in all together, there are three types of decimals. One is 3.5 or 4.8 or 0.125 etc. are called, this means etc. are called terminating decimals. Means if you are asked what is its decimal part exactly, you can say, or the decimal part is terminating, ending. Now second one is non-terminating repeating decimals, like say 10 divided by 3, we get 3.3333 etc. we'll get, or 1 upon 6 we'll get 0. Let us one division will do 6. Now 1 is smaller than 6, so we'll make it 10 and put decimal point. 1s 6 4 40, 6 are 36, 4 40, 6 are 36, 4 40, so 6 etc. it will go on. So 0.166 etc. Or this we can write 3.3 bar, or this we can write 0.16 bar. Bar is only for 6. So like this, two types of decimals we get normally when we change a rational number into decimal. Now there is one more type of decimal. See, to introduce that decimals only, you have learned squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots and etc. So see, if we try to find out square root of 2, square root of 3 or square root of 5, we will get a special type of decimals, that is called non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. So I'll tell you. See, if you are asked find the square root of a non-perfect square, the question is wrong. If suppose question is find square root of 2, wrong question, because nobody can find out square root of 2. But the question is correct, find the square root of 2 correct to 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places etc. Means up to 2 decimal places you find out, because it is unending and not repeating. So you cannot find out. So only approximate answer we can find out. So for example, square root of 2. Let us find out 2.0000. Now how many pairs of zeros? Suppose I am writing 2 pairs of zeros, I will get 2 digits in the decimal part. And if I put 3 pairs of zeros, I will get 3 digits in the decimal part, and it will go on. So let us find out. See, 100 decimal doubled. Now possible digit is 4, 96, 400, then 228, actually possible is 1 only, so 281, 119. I am bringing next pair of zeros, this one 281 plus 1, 282, and possible 1. So here again this will be 4 only possible, 4, 1, 4 etc. it will go on. Now if I write one more pair of zeros, I will get one more digit, and if I write one more pair of zeros, I will get one more digit. And the most important property is the digits are not repeating. See, 1.414, then next it is supposed to be 1, but you will not get 1, any other digit. So it can be 1 also, but then another 4 comes and the digit will be different. So you cannot write this decimal by using a bar. See, for example, say 0.23, 233, 2333 etc. This method we use to write the decimals which are non-terminating, non-repeating. So there are, what I am saying is, there are 3 types of decimals. One is terminating decimals, 2.4, 5.2, etc. Second one, non-terminating repeating decimals, that is 3.3 bar, 1.3 bar, etc. Then third type, non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, this one or this one, etc. Now, the first and second category of decimals we can change into the form P upon Q. That we'll learn just now. We can change them into the form P upon Q. But these type of decimals, this one, etc., we cannot change into the form P upon Q. So, they are not rational numbers. They are called irrational numbers, opposite to rational, irrational numbers. So, all square root of non-perfect squares, cube root of non-perfect cubes are examples for irrational numbers. So, irrational numbers. Now, what are irrational numbers? A number which cannot be expressed in the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. So, we cannot express. So, for example, root 2, root 3, cube root of 5, fourth root of 7, etc. Or even pi is an example. Or you can write decimal 0.232332333. You can make any decimal which is non-terminating, non-repeating. Suppose you are asked to find out, a very important question, suppose you are asked to find out, write an irrational number lying between 4 and 5. So, you will write a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal lying between 4 and 5, say 4.34334, 3334, etc. Like this you can make a decimal. So, we will get a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. Like this, these are all examples for irrational numbers. Now, why pi is an irrational number? Actually, pi is quotient of circumference and diameter of a circle. Circumference means perimeter or the length of the circle. Now, if C by D is supposed to be a rational number, but the problem is we cannot find out exact value for circumference of a circle. If it is a line segment, we can measure it by using scale or divider and all. But in the case of a curved figure like a circle, we cannot find the length of a circle. So, that is why the quotient is considered as a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. You will learn it later. Now, so rational numbers are also incomplete because there are irrational numbers. So, finally, including all these numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, fractions, decimals, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers, we make a new number system, real numbers. So, in till class 10, you will learn real numbers only. Now, the number system is not completing there. There are many more number systems and you will learn them in 11th, 12th if you take mathematics in 11th and 12th. Otherwise, till class 10, you will learn real numbers only. Now, in this chapter, what we are going to do, we'll revise operations on rational numbers once again. Operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division is not there. That you have already learned, you know, that you have learned in smaller classes. But other operations we'll just revise once again. Then we'll go to irrational numbers. In the next video, we'll do irrational numbers, how to do operations on irrational numbers, etc. Maybe next video I'll discuss 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. Then we'll discuss irrational numbers and their operation. So, rational numbers. Now, first question is represent this one. Say, represent say 3 upon 4 on the number line. This you have learned in smaller classes. Means you have to show that there is a point on the number line which represent 3 upon 4. So, we will draw a line. There are two methods. Say you will mark 0. You can take some distance and you can write 1 upon 4, then 2 upon 4, then 3 upon 4. Then if you want, you can write 4 upon 4 or you can write 1 on the left side, minus 1 upon 4, minus 2 upon 4, minus 3 upon 4, etc. It will go on, and whichever you are asked, you will circle. So this is a representation of 3 upon 4. Now suppose you are asked to represent minus 2, minus 3 upon 4, then you will circle this one, depending on the sign, whether it is right side. Suppose you are asked to 3 upon 7, you are asked to represent. So line 0, 1 upon 7, 2 upon 7, 3 upon 7, minus 1 upon 7, minus 2 upon 7, minus 3 upon 7, and circle whatever we are asked. So now one more method is there. 3 upon 7 we can take as 3 divided by, 3 upon 4 we can take as 3 divided by 4. So like that also you can represent. I am going to mark this one as 3. 3 divided by 4, divide into 4 equal parts, and 3 upon 4. Like this also it is correct, but this one is better. Now this you have already learned, so I am going little faster. Then next is finding few rational numbers between two given rational numbers. Say minus 3 upon 4 and minus 2 upon 3. Question is, I am not writing the question, understand the question clearly. Find 5 rational numbers lying between minus 3 upon 4 and minus 2 upon 3. 5 rational numbers. So first step is you have to make the denominator the same. So here denominator is 1 is 4 and 1 is 3. So we will find the LCM. 4 and 3, 12. So minus 3 upon 4 into 3 into 3, and minus 2 upon 3 into 4 into 4. We will make the denominator the same. So minus 9 upon 12 and minus 8 upon 12. Now between minus 9 and minus 8 there are no numbers, decimals and all there, but we are looking for integers. So what we'll do, we'll multiply. Now here I'll say the question once again. Our question is find 5 rational numbers lying between these two. Now first I made the denominator the same. Now still there are no numbers, so I have to multiply by some number, both numerator and denominator. Now questions, if you are asked to find out 5 rational numbers, minimum you have to multiply by 6. Then you multiply by 6, definitely there will be 5 rational numbers lying between. Now 6 or any other number bigger than 6. So multiplication by 10 is easy. So I am going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. I am going to write directly minus 90 upon 120 and minus 80 upon 120. Now see, minus 90 upon 120, you cancel 0, 0, 9 and 12, you will get this number only. And this number 0, 0 cancel, 8 and 12 you cancel, you will get minus 2 upon 3 only. So any number lying between these two are lying between these two. Now there are many numbers lying between, minus 81 upon 120, minus 82 upon 120, etc. You can write 5 numbers. So first question is find 5 rational numbers lying between these two. First find the LCM of the denominators, express both the numbers with the same denominator. Then depending on how many numbers, if you are asked to find out 3 numbers, multiply by 4 or any number bigger than 4. If you are asked to find out 7 numbers, multiply by 8 or bigger than 8. Sometimes when we find LCM itself, numbers will be there, write the answer directly, otherwise multiply and then write the answer. So multiply it by 10. Why 10? Because multiplication by 10 is easy, less chance for making mistake. So I multiply it by 10, I am getting 90 upon 120 and 80 upon 120 minus. So I know that when I cancel, I will get this, and when I cancel this one, I will get this only. So any number lying between these two are lying between these two. So there are many numbers, 80, minus 81 upon 120, minus 82 upon 120, etc. So you can write any 5 numbers, but if it can be simplified, simplify also. I will discuss one more question. Say minus 4 and minus 5. I will write upon 1. Already denominators are same, so I am going to multiply by 10. Question is again 5 numbers. 6 is enough. just I am multiplying by 10 only. Minus 40 upon 10 and minus 50 upon 10. If you are multiplying numerator, multiply denominator also. Now there are numbers minus 41 upon 10, minus 42 upon 10, etc. You can write 5 numbers. You have to write, I am not writing. You cannot leave it like this. You will write 5 numbers, and then if it can be simplified, simplify also. So this is how to find out a few numbers. This you have already learned in 8th standard, so I am not going in detail. Now next one is how to change rational numbers into decimals. Now when we change, say convert the following rational numbers into decimals. Say for example 1 upon 2 is equal to 0.5. We know already. Say 3 upon 4, 0.75. Divide and find out. Then 15 upon 2 is equal to 7.5. Like this. If it is minus, then minus 7.5. Like this we can change rational numbers into decimals. Now see 10 upon 3 is equal to, just now we have seen, I'll do once again, 10 divided by 3, 3 times 9, 1, 10, 0.3 times 9, 1, 10, 3 times 9, 1, 10, 3 times, etc. So it is 3.3 bar, because it is repeating. Bar says that digit is repeating again and again. Now let us take a different one. Say for example, say 2 upon 7 is equal to. Now divide 2 by 7. Any rational number you can change into decimal by dividing. In some cases you can write directly, in some cases you need calculation. Say 2 divided by 7. Now in 7 is bigger than 2, so it's not possible. So I am writing 20 and I am writing 0 point. Now how many times? 2 times 14, 6, 60, 8 times 56, 4, 40, 5 times 35, 5, 50, 7 times 49, 1, 10, 1 time 7, 3, 30, 4 times 28, 2, 20, and again it is going, again we reach 20. So now again it will be 2, 8, 5, 7, 1, 4, etc. So answer is 0.285714 and bar. So this is a decimal representation of 2 upon 7. So this is what I told you. When we change rational numbers into decimals, we get 2 types of decimals. Maybe terminating, these are terminating decimals, and these are non-terminating repeating decimals. Now next is an important property, that is, see, if we study these questions, you can make out a property and we can check whether a rational number has terminating or repeating decimal representation without division. Question is, which of the following have repeating decimal representation? Find out without division. Now if you see the denominator of the rational number, first you have to make sure that it cannot be simplified further. See, this cannot be simplified further, means if the numerator and denominator can be cancelled, first cancel it, then factorize the denominator. Here factorization is only 2's. Here factorization is again only 2's are there. Here again 2's are there. Now property says, if the prime factorization of the denominator contain only 2's, only 5's, or 2's and 5's, it can be just 2's, it can be just 5's, or it can be both 2 and 5. In all these cases it will be terminating. If we change that rational number into decimal, it will be terminating. Now if the prime factorization of the denominator consists of any prime number other than 2 and 5, like 3 or 7 or 11 or 13, etc., then it will be non-terminating repeating decimal. This is the rule. So let us take some examples. You have to see, first you have to make sure it is in simplest terms. it cannot be simplified further. Then factorize the denominator. Check if there are any prime factor other than 2 and 5, then it will be repeating. Say 7 upon 8. 8 is equal to 2 into 2 into 2, terminating. See, 15 upon 24. See, if you factorize 24 and then there is 3, your answer is wrong, because 15 upon 24 can be simplified. Cancel first. 5 3s are, 8 3s are. So 5 upon 8. And again factorization of 8 is 2 into 2 into 2, terminating. That is why I told you first make sure that it cannot be simplified further. Now say 7 upon 6. 6 is equal to 2 into 3. Any factor other than 2 and 5. So this is non-terminating repeating. Now let us take say 1 upon 15. 15 is equal to 3 into 5. Non-terminating repeating. Or 11 upon 39. Factorize 39 is equal to 3 into 13. Non-terminating repeating. So like this it will go. So without division we can check whether a rational number has terminating or repeating decimal representation. What you have to do, first make sure that it is in the simplest terms. Then factorize the denominator. If the prime factorization of the denominator consists of only 2's and 5's, it can be just 2's, it can be just 5's, or both 2 and 5. Then terminating. If it contains any prime number other than 2 and 5, like 3 or 7, 11, 13, etc., then it will have repeating decimal representation. Now the last question is how to convert back decimals into rational numbers. Now first case is very simple. If it is terminating decimals, this you have learned in class 5 and all, how to change fractions, decimals into fractions. See, 3.5 is equal to 35 upon 10, or 1.43 is equal to 143 upon 100. Like this you can write, or 143 upon 100 also you can write. That is also correct. Means 1 can be here. Directly you can change into mixed fraction. Say 0.001. 1 upon, how many digits after the decimal point? 3. So 1000. Like this we can represent. How to convert terminating decimals. Now most important is how to convert non-terminating repeating decimals into the form P upon Q. There also two cases are there. Say question is convert the following into the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. Let us take one, say 0.3 bar. So first step, see, we'll assume it as any variable, or even you can write let P upon Q is equal to 0.3 bar, or let X is equal to 0.3 bar. Let X is equal to 0.3 bar. Keep it as equation number 1. Then you have to see in the decimal part how many digits are repeating. Only 3 is going on, so only one digit is repeating. If one digit is repeating, multiply by 10. If 2 digits are repeating, multiply by 100. If 3 digits, multiply by 1000, and so on. So I am going to multiply. I am not writing, or in the first question I will write multiply both sides of equation 1 by 10. Why by 10? Because one digit is repeating. So we get 10x is equal to, now see, 0.3333 etc. it is going on into 10. Now rule for multiplication by 10, shift the decimal point one digit right. So it will become 3.3 bar 2. Now equation number 2 minus equation number 1 gives. Now when we subtract equations, subtract LHS separately and subtract RHS separately. 10x minus x, 9x is equal to. Now 3.3 bar minus 0.3 bar. This is cancelled. What is left is 3. Now x is equal to 9 is multiplied this side. So on the other side it will be divided. 3 upon 9 is equal to 1 upon 3 because it can be simplified. So if you change 1 upon 3 into decimal, you will get 0.3 bar. So what are the steps? First, assume let x is equal to or p upon q is equal to. Then depending on the number of digits repeating, if one digit is repeating, multiply by 10, 2 digits 100, 3 digits 1000, 4 digits 10,000, etc. Multiply both sides. Then we will keep it as equation number 2, 2 minus 1, you will get the answer. If the entire decimal part is repeating, I'll do another question. Say say 0.123 bar. So we'll assume let p upon x is equal to 0.123 bar. You assume let x is equal to or p upon q is equal to. Now keep it as equation number 1. Multiply both sides by how many digits are repeating? 3 digits. So I'll multiply by 1000. 1000 p upon q is equal to. Now see, it is 0.123, 123, 123, etc. It is going on. Now I am going to multiply by 1000 into 1000. So 3 digits to be shifted. So we'll get 123.123 bar. Question number 2. Now 2 minus 1. Separate LHS, subtract LHS separately and RHS separately. 1000 p upon q minus p upon q, 999 p upon q is equal to. Now here 123.123 bar and 0.123 bar. This is, so 123 we are getting. P upon q is equal to 123 upon 999 can be cancelled by 3. 41 upon 333. So answer is 41 upon 333, like this. So assume depending on the number of digits repeating, multiply both sides. Then equation number 2 minus equation number 1. I hope it is clear. Now there is one special case. Suppose the entire decimal part is not repeating. In this case, in both these cases, the entire say 0.23 bar and bar is only for 3. Now, so let p upon q is equal to 0.23 bar. Keep it as equation number 1. Now first step is the digits which are not repeating, bring it to LHS by multiplying. So one digit is not repeating, this 2 is not repeating, but still it is in the decimal part. So we'll bring that to the whole number part by multiplying 10. If one digit is not repeating, multiply by 10. 2 digits are not repeating, multiply by 100, etc. So multiply both sides by 10 because one digit is not repeating. So 10 p upon q is equal to, when we multiply, decimal will be shifted by one digit, 2.3 bar. Question number 2, not finished. You can, if you subtract, the subtraction is it will be difficult, you will not get. So what we have now, as usual, just like last question, how many digits are repeating now? One digit is repeating. So this equation number 2 you will again multiply by 10. Multiply both sides of equation 2 by how many digits are repeating? 1. So multiply by 10. So 10 into 10, 100 P upon Q is equal to, then 2.3 bar multiplied by 10. See, 2.333 etc. multiplied by 10. So 2.23.3 bar. 3. See once again, first assume, then see how many digits in the decimal part are not repeating, accordingly multiply. Then third step, how many digits are repeating, accordingly multiply again. Then 3 minus 2 gives, say, here it is, when multiply equation number 2, this will be 100 P by Q. 100 P by Q is equal to 23.3 bar. Now equation number 3 minus equation number 2, this 100 minus 10, 90 P upon Q is equal to, here 23.3 bar minus 2.3 bar. This is cancel, we will get 21. So P upon Q is equal to 21 upon 90 divisible, so 7 upon 30. You divide 7 by 30, you will get 0.23 bar only. So like this. I don't know whether it is clear or not, so I am going to discuss one more question. Then we will finish this. I will take a different question, say, say 1.237 bar. Now see very carefully, let x is equal to 1.237 bar. Keep it as equation. I'm telling you once again, don't get confused. You can start with x or you can P by Q, both same only. Now how many digits are not repeating in the decimal part? 3 bar is for 37, that is repeating. So 2 is not repeating, 1 digit. So I'm going to multiply by 10. 10x is equal to 12.37 bar. Now look at equation number 2. How many digits are repeating? 2 digits are repeating. So you have to multiply by 100. 2 digits are repeating. Again you have to multiply by 100. Equation number 2. So 100 into 10. 1000 x is equal to, now see, I'll write 12.37, 37, 37 etc. It is going on, multiplied by 100, decimal point will be shifted. So 1237.37 bar. Question number 3. First multiply and bring the digit which is not repeating in the decimal part to whole number part. So 1 digit is not repeating, multiplied by 10. Then look at how many digits are repeating, accordingly multiply and keep it as equation number 3. 3 minus 2. 1000 minus 990 x is equal to, see, 1237.37 bar, then 12.37 bar. This is cancelled. Here it is 5, 2, 1, 2. So 1225 x is equal to 1225 upon 990, or it is divisible by 5 and cancel, you will get the answer. So like this we can convert repeating decimals into rational numbers. So almost all the important concepts in in the exercise 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 we have discussed. Now what you have to do is you have to try 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3 and mark the questions which you have problem. Now in the next video I will quickly discuss these exercises. If any problem, you can you can clarify that time. Then we'll go to irrational numbers. Hope it is clear to you. Take care. Number of COVID cases in Delhi is increasing day by day, and if you have elder members in your family, special care you have to take. Now everybody, messages are coming that this week will be very different, and so take care. Hope you are all taking proper care, and remember me also in your prayers. I will also remember every day while praying and all. I will also remember. All the best. Thank you. Maybe in 2-3 days I'll send. Don't wait for next video, but try exercise 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. All the best.